up where we are with the floor project, the never-ending floor project in the 30s house. In the last video, I put up the midspan beam, a portion of it, about half of it, temporarily fitted it and made sure that things were going to be level according to my measurements, and they were. So now I'm going to show you where we're at with everything. You can see there's a lot more things that have happened, so let's just get into it really quick. Okay, let's start over here. So first thing first, I've doubled up the midspan beam, so they're two 2x10s, and they are glued, and every 2 feet I have top and bottom lag screws holding it in place. So I have a support post that was already put into this concrete column here, and it's not coming out. It's an oak branch, I think. So I'm using that as one. And when I put up additional 2x10s to go across to finish the midspan beam, one will rest right in here, and the other will just be screwed directly onto this, and the weight will be carried down. 4x4 posts, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 4x4 posts. All of them rest on concrete piers or concrete footers, and used the appropriate Simpson strong tie brackets to secure the 4x4 and the 2x2, the 2x's together. Same thing down here. Used Simpson strong tie brackets to put the 4x4 on top of the pressure treated wood that is bolted into the concrete. And then here, where these concrete blocks were already in place, it's a little bit too short, and so I will be putting shims in place to fill that gap. And then as you can see, I've put up some floor joists. These are all in temporarily. I just measured my 16 center marks on both the sill plate over there on that wall and the midspan beam over here, test fitted to make sure it's accurate, and they are. And so now I'm at the process of determining how to level the floor joists. And what I'm doing is I'm putting some hangers on the sill plate and then using blocking until I get the floor joist level, and then I measure where I need to, or how much of the floor joist I need to cut and how far back I need to cut. So the floor joist will go all the way through here, 3 inches in underneath the bottom plate of the wall, and with the notch being bigger than allowed by code, these hangers will catch the bottom of the floor joist with a little bit of blocking or shims to hold in place. I got the first joist in. It's level, it's plumb, it matches up perfectly to the one that matches up perfectly to the hallway entry. That took a little bit more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half to do the first one. So I'm still trying to figure things out. So I'm gonna show you the final result, and then there's a question of whether or not I'm gonna do something on the next ones. So let's take a look. All right, here we are. Here's the joist that I put in, and let's first show you that it is level. I'm going to slide this guy to the center. I marked my bow line, so it's level there. Slide it over, and we're level there. And then in addition to that, we are level plumb-wise. Okay, so show you how I'm securing this. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be using hangers. I'll fill this gap with shims. I'll glue them in place so that way they don't squeak when we walk. Turns out that the notch that I cut was within the guidelines of code. It's less than 2 inches, and this is a 2x8. So I could leave it without putting a hanger in here. Now I put these right angle brackets, Simpson strong tie. They're really strong. I just did that to secure the joist in place and to get it a little bit more plumb. I'll probably end up putting one on the other side too. It just gives it more stability, and I didn't want a toenail nails in here, so I figured this is the easiest way. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I had to notch back here in order to get underneath the bottom plate of the wall. I thought originally I was going to just jack the wall up and rest it on top, but that's a pretty big chunk to actually have to jack the wall up. And so for now I'm just notching it, and I'm not sure if I want to continue to do that because, like I mentioned, I am planning on replacing a lot of the lumber in this wall, and if I didn't notch it here, then I'd have a flat level surface to put my wall on. So I'm still thinking through that. But let's go over here to the end, and I used whatever this bracket is called, Simpson strong tie bracket with the screws. I still have 2 more screws I need to put in there, and I'll be putting one of these per joist. So I'll be putting one on this side too. I have one temporarily in place. But that's it. That's how. Oh, and then one more thing. Let's grab this, and I'll show you that from this joist, which is level, and it lines up perfectly with the way I need to transition to the hallway. You can see that we are, we are level, and there's no rocking between the joist that is put in and this joist here. So we are in perfect shape. I think I'm at a good stopping point. As I've mentioned several times, this does take a while, having to measure each and every one individually. I'm not starting with a square or a level playing field, but I was able to get 4 in, and I feel really confident about the levelness of them, the plane, the level plane, the plumbness of them all. Let me just show you really quick, and then let me just show you. Level on that one, spanning across all 4, and we are nice and level. There's only a minute difference in level between some of those, but that's because they're not fully turned yet to be plumb, and once they're plumb, they're level. So I've connected this side with these braces here. I measure from the outside edge to the inside edge to make sure I have my 16 on the center, and then I put these braces in place, and then I go over here and I put on these joist hangers, measuring from that edge to this edge, and then securing those in place. And then I drop the joist down to the bottom of this, and I use the level from the top of the two joists between it, and raise it up to level it. Then I cut the notches out, and then I come back in here and I hang it and I put those pieces on. I try to do both sides if I can, and I also make sure that I have a gap between the edge of this and the concrete, because I don't want this wood touching the concrete. There's a couple high spots in the lumber, and those will flatten out as we put more weight with the subfloor on them. You guys get the idea of how I'm hanging the joists. Should be able to get the rest of the joists that you see here on this quarter of the house done tomorrow, and then I'll start working on that section back there. But there's some challenges with the sill plate on that side, and so I'm still trying to think through how I'm going to do that exactly. But making slow but good progress. I gotta just keep reminding myself, A, I've never done this before. B, I'm working alone. C, it's not a square, level, playing field from the beginning. So, given the fact that I have those three challenges, I think I'm making pretty good progress. So I'm gonna keep at it, and we'll see you on the next video.